Here with Sixers' big free agent summer acquisition, Al Horford. Al, I feel like it's a bit of a throwback because you signed here to play a lot of power forward, which was the position you became a star in the NBA. And was that a factor that you could get back to your more natural position at all?
Um, it was somewhat of a factor, but honestly, just to play along a guy like Joel Embiid, that made it much easier. I do understand that I'll play some forward, I'll play some five. I feel like that's one of the strengths of my game. I can play, a little bit of both.
What was your reaction from your peers in the NBA? Not just forget about the media and the fans when they found out you were coming to Philadelphia.
I think everyone was really surprised. I think they were very surprised, probably unexpected. I kept a very quiet free agency process. I did it the same way back when I moved to Boston. We try to stay quiet and go about our business. And this opportunity came along, and I felt like it was the right thing for me.
We're in an era where teams are getting rid of centers,
Mm-hmm.
and here now this team has two guys who've been all-stars at the center position in the Eastern Conference. You have teams in this league that are moving away from focusing on defense, and yet this team is loading up on defensive players. You guys have the chance to be one of the best defenses in the league. Do you think that's a mindset that can work in the modern NBA?
Yeah, we're going to find out, but I do believe that the way that we're built, I think defense really can win championships, and the way that we're going to play and our focus is going to be on the defensive end and rebounding, and I do believe that we're going to be able to have a lot of success.
You were a thorn in this team's side over the last couple of seasons. In the playoffs a couple of years ago, you really made life hard on Joel. Was that a factor at all that you kind of saw that maybe they were missing a player, a big man who was versatile like you?
Yeah, I just recognize the opportunity, like you said, being able to have the versatility to play both positions, but also to play alongside Joel and probably teach him a little bit and learn from him as well. He's such a talented player. So I just felt like it was going to be a good fit, given all the other pieces that they had.
And obviously this team is really relying on the younger players, Tobias and Ben, a lot in addition to Joel. How do you see the team coming together, knowing that you're going to need some of that more perimeter scoring from those guys now that Jimmy Butler and J.J. Redick have moved on?
Yeah, I do believe, Ben does such a great job of creating for others, putting pressure on the basket. That's something that he's going to continue to do. And then Tobias, he can really shoot the ball. He's going to shoot it well. Josh Richardson is going to shoot it well. I feel like one of my strengths is able to stretch the floor out as well. So I think we're going to be okay, and we're going to have to do it as a unit. That's going to be the focus there.
Have you spent much time working out with the guys? And if you have, how's Ben's shot looking these days?
I haven't spent much time working with them, but I can't wait to get in there. I've seen some videos of Ben, as we all have, looking great. But my biggest thing with him is he's going to shoot it with confidence. He'll know when to do it. He'll know what not to do, and I'm not worried about Ben. He's going to be fine.
Last year you were bothered a little bit by some knee soreness. How is that feeling? How do you feel about it going into the season?
I'm in a really good place now. I think that taking all that time in the summer, has helped me, and I'm good to go. I just can't wait to get started tomorrow.
Here with Tobias Harris. Tobias, I don't know what was more impressive this summer, that the Sixers were willing to give you this really fantastic 5-year contract, or that they said, we believe in you as being one of the leaders of our future, letting a couple other veterans go. I mean, obviously the money is great, but what did it mean to you for them to say that kind of belief in you?
No, that meant a lot. I mean, to come into the meeting and to hear that I can actually have my hands imprinted on being a focal point here, being a guy that can really, build the culture up to what everybody knows it as. And just to be part of this group, the potential that we have as a collective unit, and to do something special, and that's to win a championship here. And that's the main goal. That was related in our meeting, and that's what we've been, as a team, as a group, been really harping on. This is our goal. Let's make it happen. So that was a great feeling for me all all across the board.
I don't want to look backwards, but history could be so different if Kawhi doesn't hit that shot.
Yeah.
You know, you guys really matched up well with the Bucks. The Warriors had those injuries. How much did you think about what could have been in the last few months?
Yeah, you know, for a couple of days I did, like especially after seeing them beat, you know, Milwaukee and then seeing them go and beat Golden State, I did. And then I just realized, I was like, you know, let's grind and make it happen. However way it's to happen, you know. And so after free agency, once the deal was signed, I made sure that I put the work in on my own personal game to get myself better, to be in a position to help be a bigger impact for my team going forward. And I made sure I got with different guys around the summer, and was able to communicate and just really get the ball rolling for what we wanted to accomplish as a group. So it was definitely tough to see that shot go in, but I think it's just going. I know it had motivated everybody that's still here from that team into doing something bigger this year.
Talk about working on your game. With bringing in Al Horford, obviously a huge move for this franchise, probably means you're going to be playing a lot of small forward, which was a role you excelled in last year with the Clippers. You were playing the best season of your career before the trade. I assume it's a position you've been getting ready to play and that you'll be comfortable in?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different dynamic of like play calls and having the ball in the hands to be able to do pick and rolls and whatnot. So, and to play with a guy like Al, play with a guy like Joe, just very smart players, and Ben. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities that I'm ready for. There's going to be a lot of different schemes and different style play of how we're going to be effective offensively and defensively. But the three position is a position I'm very comfortable at, and something that I know I'm going to excel at this year.
When you go on the floor with Ben Simmons, Embiid, and Horford, you guys are going to do something that has not been seen in the modern NBA, which is potentially play four guys, 6'10" or taller, at one time. Is that, in the 2019-20 NBA, is that a type of team that can win a championship?
I believe so. I think, you kind of started to see a little bit last year in the playoffs when Toronto had guys like Mark and Siakam and Ibaka, and you saw like a sense of thing, like the big teams are still effective in playoff basketball. And I think for us, now we have a very big team, but we also have a lot of versatility. We got guys like Mike Scott coming off the bench, guys like Kyle Quinn that can play as a passing big, and even Al that can play 5 and 4, myself that can play 3-4. So we have the movable parts. It's just a matter of figuring out rotation-wise how they're going to move. But I do think, like in today's game, especially in the playoffs, size with guys who can shoot the three ball is very effective.
All right, Tobias, thank you so much. Good luck this season.
No problem. Thank you.
Here with Ben Simmons. Ben, it's a big summer for you. Number one, you signed a contract for 5 years to be a part of this team going forward. Number two, you spent a lot of time working on your game. Most people would think that the contract was most important, but listening to some of the things you've been talking about, maybe working on your game seemed like it was what was most important to you.
Definitely. It was a huge summer, and I was grateful to be able to sign back with Philadelphia for 5 more years. I love being here. This is who I am now. It's a big part of me and my family. But besides that, I think just working to be better. I've kind of found myself in a place where I'm back in the gym, and I love doing what I'm doing. And I find, being on the court makes me happy, and getting better and being able to, see myself improve.
So you spent a lot of time working this summer. Were you more intensively working this summer than the past few years?
Definitely. I think that just comes with time and maturity. I think you kind of find what really matters to you and how great you really want to be. And I think that summer I kind of found that.
I'm sure everywhere you've gone across the world, whether it's in Australia or whether it's here in Philly or it's in Los Angeles, people ask you, how's your shot coming? Do you get tired of people asking you about your shot?
Not really, because at the end of the day, I found out, people are always going to do that because some people just don't know, in terms of basketball, the game. And it's a huge part of the game, but at the same time, I'm always working. And I want to continue to be better at everything. From my left-hand layups to my left-hand floaters to my right-hand floaters to my right-hand layups. Dribbling the ball, my footwork, there's a lot more than just shooting the ball that goes into the game.
So the way you guys have gone forward here, signing Al Horford, re-signing Tobias, potentially you're going to have lineups where you're going to have 4 guys 6'10" or taller on the court. It's kind of a new way to go about in the NBA. It's not the way the NBA is going, which is going smaller. You guys are going bigger. So it does put an emphasis probably on you being more of an offensive threat from the outside. Has that been a factor into how you prepared for the season? Not just because you want to shoot better, but because the way the team's
not at all. I think individually, I think I just want to be better for my team, regardless of who's on the team. And that's just the way I've been looking at it, regardless of who's on the floor. Because at the end of the day, I need to be better for my team. And my main goal is to win the championship. So in regards to that, for myself and my teammates.
Do you feel like the way the team is aligned this year, and obviously you guys have some guys you can bring off the bench where Horford would be the center, maybe not Joel, but with JJ and Jimmy moving on, that the perimeter scoring is going to come down to you this year a little bit more? Is that something you're thinking about going to this season?
I don't think in particular just me. I think it's just more a different play style to where, you find guys different shots. I'm still the same player in terms of being able to facilitate and get guys open and do what I can to make it easier for everybody else. So that never changes. Obviously, we lost 2 great players in Jimmy and JJ. But at the same time, we gained, a few great players, and I'm looking forward to getting on the floor with them.
So you guys have a very interesting team. 2 guys who have been all-stars at the center position. You have a point guard, and you play 6'10". In a league where teams are going smaller and spreading the floor, you guys are going taller and better defense. Can this design of a team win a title in 2020?
I mean, I believe defense wins championships, and that's how we play. Philadelphia is based off defense for us. And that's the mentality we're going to have stepping on the floor every night.
All right, thank you very much, Ben. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.